and the situation was along the lines of if I feel like I'm going to do something unsafe, someone on the ground screaming at me, and I remember what you or Robbie said to him, and that's a defining moment. And like Ryan said, we have the ability to mold people. There's people walk away from this trade because they don't have an outlet to get the right answers.
Right.
And so I really appreciated one of y'all's response to him and said, if you have to question, your leader on the safety, you're probably at the wrong place. So I really appreciate that comment.
That was Big Robbie over there catching that one.
I didn't mean to cut you off, dude. And with that too, it's just really giving people back the power. And I don't mean a pun right there. As the kid in 5th grade who got pulled out of school because his dad cut a corner and was in a flash and made the news and everything, it's not anything you want to live through. So you learn to live with it and learn to teach others so they don't ever have to go through shit like that. And it's just the platform in general. It's just providing that open atmosphere where it's okay to ask those questions. Like, look, I haven't tested a pair of Class 2s in 5 years. Yeah, 5 years. But when someone's like, well, what do I do if this happens? To be able to step back into their boots and feel what they're feeling, man, it totally revitalized my view and how I feel about the trade and everything. Because as we all get older on here, you get kind of jaded, you get kind of irritable, and you become the old timer that always pissed you off in the yard. So it's good to see that new blood come in there, and it's beneficial for us too that we get to see that happen. You get that revitalization that we are on the right track. We are providing an atmosphere where those low-level questions that we don't expect anymore now come up, and we get to immerse ourselves back into that world.
Right, 100%. And look, I was talking to Josh yesterday about fall protection, and this dude gave me a whole lesson on fall protection. So I'm out here, I'm learning too, man. And, whether it's different, the way we do things be different, or whatever it is, there's a point to learn in every scenario and every question that's brought up. It started with the vision, man, and, finding that good group of people that believe in the same thing that you believe and moving it forward. That, that's the only way to create that movement. So, I appreciate everyone's support in all of this. I really just want to keep the ball rolling. I think we really do have a good thing going. We're going to have to just grind like we've been grinding and just keep working hard, man.
I think it's also about stewardship, right? It's about our future in the trade and preserving the future and the passion. But it's about stewardship, whether you're traditional union steward or non-union. That there's really no room for that here. We're all in the trade, and another fence you get to hop over, right? I work for a utility. I work for one of the largest investor-owned utilities in the country. I work for Southern California Edison, really great company to work for. Most of your guys that are utility hands, unless they know somebody or they came from the outside, they don't have a lot of interaction with guys on the outside and vice versa. I'm in a unique position where I actually do have a lot of contact with guys from the outside for the position I hold. So there's another thing, right? Because it's all line work, but we operate under different contracts. We do things a little bit different. So it's just learning. And as long as we're doing it, safely and efficiently, we understand, then it's a win-win for everybody. And that's the cool thing about this platform is like Robbie alluded to, it's not the glitz and the glamour, the Instagram. It's almost like going to school every day, and you can go back to it. And the algorithm's not there to where if you don't log in 24 hours, you're gonna miss something. You're gonna miss the good stuff. You know what I mean? Like your Facebook, your Instagram. I don't TikTok, I don't Snapchat, so I couldn't tell you about that stuff. But it's like, they got that algorithm because they're trying to entice you. We're not trying to entice. We're trying to network and further the trade and further the knowledge, and as well as learn ourselves. Jude said it best once, and I don't know if he actually came up with it, but he said it best: when one teaches, two learn, and that really stuck with me. This is another platform just for that, and I'm just blessed to be a part of it. I think it's awesome, and great group of guys that are taking the time to invest in this. So I appreciate it.
Right on, man. And I guess to add to that, the overall vision is to develop that culture in this network. And I think that's where it's going to start. Then we grow. And through that growth, I believe we can bring this culture to fruition. and, you know, out with the old, in with the new, just like that.
We started to lose, I've talked about this before on the podcast a few times, but this trade began losing that apprentice master relationship, not to call it master, but for lack of a better word, that where the master of the craft would take an apprentice under their wing and teach them and grow them and learn and help them learn the craft as they did. You could see it in old ironwork and swordsmanship and stuff like that, where you would have one person work with one master for their entire career till they learned from him completely and then could take over. That's the way this trade was in the past, and we were getting away from it and losing it. And technology like this and tech like this and using tech like this is a way to help curate that again and bring that back and help bring that back. And that's what you're trying to do with this Discord, with this channel. It's important to do that. We're all, like you said, we're all people who want to help teach, help people learn whatever aspect or ability that we have to do that. This is a great place to do that. Straight up great place to start doing that and bringing that relationship back again. Like, hey, come on, let me show you. I know we can't physically show you, like we're not on the same crew, but it can at least get you curious. If you're the guy asking the question, you can ask more questions, and then you can go back on your crew and ask your crew these questions and force them to be present and teach you these things, you know?
100%. And to piggyback on that, and look, guys, coming from the world's worst apprentice to the world's okayest lineman, I'll never forget the guys that took that time to show me how to put the hand line together, to show me how to tie knots, to show me how to rig, and just putting all this together. Now I get the opportunity as a sellout office puke to bestow my knowledge that I've learned. It's such a great platform. I can't stress that enough, where you get the low-level questions to the high-level technical questions about grounding and everything else. And I mean, just the team on this call right now is the eclectic collection of line work. We don't know the answer. We know enough people who do know the answers, and we have the resources and the means to be able to get the young guys the answers to that, so they're out doing it right. And it pays dividends. We're not going to hurt people. We're going to do quality work. And it comes down to a quote, and it's what you do in this life echoes in eternity, and that's what we're doing right now.
The technology that this generation has, the new generation, compared to what we had coming up, is amazing. And I like what Ryan said earlier. Our platforms, mine and his podcast, people listen, but this is truly an opportunity for those coming up in the trade to have a voice. And I appreciate that, because I know the frustration when I was an apprentice. I don't know about you guys, but I used to sit in the truck every morning before I went into the yard thinking about how to make the whole line crew disappear without going to jail or getting fired, because of the frustration sometimes coming up. And we didn't have an outlet. We didn't have anyone else. And this is a great platform for allowing the younger generation to have a voice.
Kenny, I'm so glad you said that, because there was a time in my apprenticeship career that I researched, and no joke, you could ask my mother, researched how to break my arm in the least painful way so I didn't have to get back on that transmission job.
I bought itching powder at Spencer's one time, just so you know. That's a true story.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, you guys remember that store? It used to be in the mall,
Oh, yeah.
Spencer Gifts or whatever. I bought itching powder, like 2 packs of it, and put it all in the seat cushions of the trucks and everything. It was great.
I love it.
Dude, that's epic. Really appreciate it, Kenny. Thanks for having us, man.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
This was awesome. Go ahead and find Discord in your app store. Download the app. Afterwards, you can check out Powerline Podcast Instagram bio, or Line Talkers Podcast Instagram bio, where you can find the link to our network.